What's going on, guys? I'm Maze, and welcome to my series called My Opinions on the Pokemon Anime. In today's second episode, I'll be giving my opinions on every PokeGirl Pokemon from the Pokemon Anime, due to you guys in the first episode requesting me to give my opinions on Ash Ketchum's companions Pokemon too. We'll be starting with the PokeGirls though. In fact, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have decided to make this a series. You all just love the opinion concept that much, so I might as well continue. Also, I might as well say here, if you have any other thing you want me to give my opinions on, then be sure to comment some below, and I shall see if I will do them one day. Regardless of that though, I quickly want to mention two other things before we jump right into my opinions. Which firstly, I want to thank everybody who competed in the tag of Ash Ketchum's Pokemon. They were all really amazing videos. I highly suggest you guys check out them videos. They will be showcased in a playlist named Videos I'm In /Fan Videos. Link in the description below. And finally, I also wanted to mention, but of course before we jump right into my opinions, that it is indeed my opinions. So I'd like you to respect mine, and I shall happily respect yours in the comments below. Apparently in the previous video, a lot of you hated Ash's Greninja, but I happily respected that. Regardless, with all of that said now though, let's finally jump right into my opinions on these PokeGirl Pokemon. Firstly, I'll be starting with Misty's team. Goldeen. I don't know what to say for Goldeen. It's just there. Nor does it really do much, have development, a personality, and any cool moments I can think of. So let's just give Goldeen a 1 out of 10 and move on. Wow, that was easy for the first Pokemon. Staryu. Unlike Goldeen, Staryu actually got used quite often, and some of its battles were quite alright, I guess. But once again, like Goldeen, it doesn't have any development nor personality, so I can't say much else for it. So let's give Staryu a 2 out of 10, I guess. Starmie. There's legit barely anything to say for Misty's Pokemon at the moment. This Pokemon already got screen time due to Misty favoring Staryu in battles and then giving it to her sisters to keep at the Cerulean Gym. Apart from that though, it's the exact same like Staryu. But hey, I will say that I do like the moment in the episode titled School of Hard Knocks where its core gem got shattered and Misty was worried for it. That showed a good start for relationship in Misty's Pokemon. Regardless, that's all I can say for now, so 2.5 out of 10, I guess? Yeah, let's move on. Horsea. Horsea was a cute Pokemon, and I liked its introduction episode. It was an injured Pokemon who then asked Misty for help, and I loved how much care Misty showed towards it because of that. However, after this episode, it was forgotten pretty much. We barely got to see it ever. So yeah, a Pokemon with nice opportunities due to having a somewhat personality and could even evolve got wasted. So I'm unfortunately going to have to give Horsea a 2 out of 10. Psyduck. Finally, the anime creators gave Misty a memorable and entertaining Pokemon, which is this little duck here. I'm sorry if you like the first 4 Pokemon I talked about, but man, they were so boring to me. In fact, just by thinking about it, the Kanto series did pretty much not care about the companions and their Pokemon that much. It got better in Johto, and then from Hoenn to the present day, the anime creators actually decided to give character to both the companions and their Pokemon, which is good, as I don't like boring characters. Go figure. Anyway, yeah, these next 2 Pokemon Misty had in Kanto though, I actually did like. It was the starting point of the anime caring. So this list for Misty should now start to sound better and a little more detailed too. So with that said, let's now finally talk about Psyduck's character. I loved how goofy it was. No. Wait. Dim-witted would be better to say. Just nearly every time it got called out, it was confused and didn't know what to do. Or when Misty wants to battle using another Pokemon, it would come out confused thinking it called her. Even getting in trouble, which was just great comedy. I also just love how Misty yells all the time at Psyduck. Although it sounds mean, it made for really funny moments and actually helped them to start to grow a bond once realizing the power it actually has and how much they actually cared for each other. Which is sweet. Talking about that power though, it was fun to see Psyduck let out that much psychic power. It was like OP in a way, which was just amazing and funny due to you thinking it was just a weak Pokemon. In fact, I'd say the first time we see Psyduck use his power is my favourite moment of all time from this Pokemon, aka the episode titled The Ninja Poke Showdown. Of course, I love the concept of it having to get a really bad headache too to use its power. Regardless, as you can probably tell overall now, I just found this confused Pokemon to be very funny and enjoyable. It can even be cute at times. So I'm going to give Psyduck a 8 out of 10. Nicely done, you goofy boy. More development would have been nice, but it was still enjoyable. Togetic. Togetic was a fun, funny and lovable Pokemon. But as its time as a Togepi, as we barely got to see it as a Togetic due to Misty releasing it so it can protect a location known as Togepi Paradise once it evolved. Regardless, yeah. Although Togepi was a weak Pokemon due to it being in its first form, I just loved it for those reasons I stated earlier. I even enjoyed watching its relationships with characters, Pokemon, and how it just acted overall. It was a pure cute baby. What can you not like about it? I even felt sad when it was sad. My favourite moment from this Pokemon though probably has to be its evolution, just simply because we spent hundreds of episodes seeing it as a weak Pokemon to then grow into a more confident Pokemon and even become a decent battler. I love Togetic's design too, so I guess that's a plus. I do also want to mention too though that I loved its debut episode where everybody fought over it. That was just brilliant and funny, especially due to what it did towards the end. It's just lovable. Overall though, I'm going to give this Pokemon a 7 out of 10. Pretty high despite it not doing much. It could have been higher too, but there's just some Pokemon on this list that have everything I love. For the record, that's battles, development, and a great personality. I should have probably said that in the intro. Oh well, it's been said now. Politoed. Politoed was a nice decent Pokemon for Misty. I liked how happy it was when it evolved into Politoed, and I liked some moments that it and Misty shared, such as the episode titled The Totodile Duel, where both Ash and Misty fought over who caught Totodile and they decided to battle for it. However, Poliwag then evolved into Poliwhirl in the battle, and although Misty lost, she said she preferred Poliwhirl because it evolved, which was sweet, making the Pokemon happy too. This probably being my favourite moment from this Pokemon too. We also had some alright battles with it, such as ones it and Misty shared in the World Cup. And finally, I do also want to mention that its evolution episode was kinda nice. Overall, I'm going to give Politoed a 5 out of 10. Corsola. Corsola was another decent Pokemon for Misty. It seems to have a joyous personality, much like Misty's Togepi. It was also very sociable and it performed very nicely in battles. Although you gotta admit, most of it is because it has Recover, which it and Misty spammed in battles lots of times. Like, yo, calm down Misty. Anyway, yeah, this Pokemon was nice to watch simply because of those battles and its somewhat personality. My overall favourite moment though from this Pokemon has to be the battles it had against Harrison in the World Cup. They were pretty nice. Overall, this Pokemon also gets a 5 out of 10 like Politoed. Although I would say I lean towards Politoed being the more enjoyable Pokemon. Gyarados. This Pokemon first debuted in the Pokemon Chronicles episode, Cerulean Blues. And wow, that episode was such an importance in Misty's life due to her finally getting over her fear of the Gyarados species. It was really nice development for her, so I gotta give this Gyarados some credit for that. But apart from that, we've pretty much seen Gyarados only appear in 2 other episodes for a battle, which for Sun and Moon one was really cool, probably one of my favourite battles ever in the anime, before the top 5 at least. Anyway, yeah, its battles were epic, and I guess that's all I can say for this Pokemon now, so I'm just gonna give it a decent 4 out of 10. I don't hate it, just we didn't get much episodes to see its full character, hence the rating. And yes, it's weird that I like this Pokemon over Misty's original 4 Pokemon. At least I found some enjoyment from it though. Like man, I still can't get over that Sun and Moon battle. Whew! Love Disc. For those confused, much like Gyarados, this Pokemon first debuted and was only seen in the Pokemon Chronicles episode. Love Disc is a many splendid thing, where it was already caught by Misty and was in love with Misty's sisters, Daisy's Love Disc. Apart from that, it had nothing going for it, which was love idea I just felt meh about anyway. So yeah, that's all I can really say. Not gonna give it a rating 2 due to it being in one episode. But hey, I figured I should at least mention it for this list. Azurill. Finally, to wrap up Misty's Pokemon, we have Azurill, which didn't do much, simply because we only saw it for a few episodes. It just felt like it was there to be Togepi's replacement, so yeah. Although I will say it is cute and a nice Pokemon for Misty to own. But that's legit all I can say, so let's not rate this one and move on. So moving on, I'll now be talking about May's team. Blaziken. Blaziken was kinda cool. Of course, most of its time was spent as a Combusken though. It was actually very powerful and had some nice development to it. That development basically being that May started to ignore Torchic in favour of her beautifying contest, which made Torchic feel like he needed to compete for May's attention, and his personality began to change. It grew more determined to improve itself and recapture May's attention. Its competitive streak continued to grow too, as it lost most of its childness and confusion. This even resulted in its evolution into Combusken in the episode A Shroomish Skirmish. That is such a hard episode to say for me. Anyway, that episode is where it actually learned both Fire Spin and Sky Uppercut. Like, that's really great how Torchic managed to get more powerful and confident simply because it wanted attention. It's a very nice story compared to other Pokemon on this list too. But at the same time, I can't help but feel bad for it, as even I noticed May use the Beautifly way more. It was a kinda emotional story. Regardless of that development though, the other reason for why I like this Pokemon is because of the awesome battles it competed in. Like, they were very entertaining. My favourite probably being the last battle we saw in the Advanced Generation series, aka it battling against Ash's Sceptile. Very nice strategies were shown. As for its personality, for those wondering though, I just found it meh. But regardless, this Pokemon did a good job overall for a character, so I'm gonna give it a nice 8 out of 10. Beautifly. As we've stated, this Pokemon was kinda May's most used Pokemon for contests, and although I will admit that annoyed me at times, it was still a fairly decent Pokemon because it managed to make great contest moves, probably the best May's managed to create. It managed to hold up in battles too, and I even liked its whole evolution story. In fact, I'd probably say that evolution story is my favourite moment from this Pokemon. When it comes to its personality though, this Pokemon just seems to be loyal and lack any other kind of traits, which is disappointing, but I will give Beautifly a decent 5 out of 10. I'm sorry, I know many of you love it, but yeah, I just didn't find it that great. Skitty. Skitty was a quite funny Pokemon. It is very ditzy and mischievous, often letting itself out of its Pokeball and provoking trouble with wild Pokemon, while always keeping that one smile on its face due to being so cheerful. Like, that's a pretty good personality, and fits a cat Pokemon very well. However, as for everything else regarding this Pokemon, it was just decent to me. It was decent in battles, and it had decent development. I remember it learning Blizzard very well actually, so that was some of its decent development. Anyway, this Pokemon overall gets a 6 out of 10, mostly due to its funny personality though. Venusaur. Venusaur, mostly seen as a Bulbasaur, was a sweet Pokemon to watch, and that's because of its sweet personality. I even adore its little friendship it had with Ash's Bulbasaur. Everybody would ship them too. Anyway, despite this being sweet, seeing this Pokemon was quite cool too. My favourite moment probably being its battle against Harley's Cacturn. That was pretty awesome, and of course this Pokemon in contests in general makes pretty nice sights. But man, I just wish we got to see how it evolved though. That would have been cool. We got a little sneak preview of how Eevee evolved, so why not the others? That's such a small nitpick though, so it won't count towards its character. But overall, for what I've said about this character so far, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Munchlax. Munchlax was pretty entertaining overall. What needs to be said about this Pokemon's personality though, is just true to its species, and because of that, it's pretty funny. I loved how it would always steal food, cause mayhem in some sort of way, and I even liked seeing it battle at times due to it actually being powerful. However, the reason I enjoyed its battles the most is actually because it had access to the move metronome, which made it unpredictable of what move this Pokemon would use in battle, and it was always fun to see how it and me, or maybe Munchlax on its own, would use whatever move came out of metronome to their advantage. No development can really be said for this Pokemon, but overall, as you can hopefully see, I found it enjoyable. So I'm going to give Munchlax a 7 out of 10. Another pretty funny Pokemon. Wartortle. Mostly seen as a Squirtle, this Pokemon was also fairly decent. Thanks to me getting this Pokemon, it felt like she was starting over again, due to this Squirtle being young and a bit of a crybaby. I mean, it did come from Professor Oak's lab anyway. But regardless of that, it actually felt nice, as it was slowly getting stronger and performed nicely in contest, which made for good development. My favourite moment from this Pokemon though has to be a short but really sweet moment when May sent out Squirtle, but she was not satisfied with the way it came out of its Pokeball, as she needed its entrance to be more flashier, which this made Squirtle take May's comments to heart and disappeared from her sight for a little while, only to return using accessories made out of flowers in order to look more appealing and impress his trainer. But May then reassured Squirtle that it always looked cute in her eyes. Like, that's so darling. Apart from that though, I don't really have anything else to say for this Pokemon, so I'll also give it a 6 out of 10. Ah, it's so cute though. Glaceon. Glaceon was only a Glaceon for 2 episodes for us, so we'll mostly be focusing on its time as an Eevee. But yes, to those who all know my second favourite Pokemon ever is Glaceon, I like how a companion has one under their care. Anyway, Eevee had the typical traits of its species. It had a playful nature, showed so much affection for its trainer, and loyalty for it. It was also quite energetic, which I guess was kinda nice to watch. But that's all it kinda had going for it. Yes, it was nice to see Eevee watch May's contests to understand what to do before competing in them, and then go on to compete in them nicely. However, I just wanted to see a little more development, making the Pokemon just feel meh for me. However, I will admit, in the 2 episodes we saw it as a Glaceon, I liked seeing it battle. In fact, my overall favourite moment from this Pokemon is this battle against Dawn's Piplup in the Wallace Cup. That was pretty sweet. I just loved seeing it be cute, and finally, be strong. With all of that said though, I think I'll give this Pokemon a 5 out of 10. Now, I understand most of these Pokemon have been 5 out of 10s, but we're now going to embark onto higher ratings. This video is sponsored by Threaddiverse. Threaddiverse is an online shop where you can get all sorts of anime, cartoon, gaming and comics apparel. Pokemon being included in the anime and gaming section too. So much in fact. All the designs are amazingly drawn by their own artists too, and from my own personal experience, the apparel are so comfy to wear, fit nicely, and are top quality. I loved everything, so trust me when I say that you are bound to find something you love from this site. Link is in the description below. And right now for a limited time offer, if you enter the code GEN830 on checkout, you will get 30% off your order. Finally, I also suggest you sign up to their newsletter so you are up to date when they release new apparel, and it will even feature some cool anime and gaming related stuff. Once again, link is in the description below to this site. You don't want to miss out on anything. With that said though, let's jump back into the video. Welcome back everybody. Next I'll be talking about Dawn's team, my favourite team of Pokemon out of all the PokeGirls, and you're gonna see why. Piplup. As you saw from the thumbnail, I believe this Pokemon is 100% amazing. I love it so much. My favourite PokeGirl Pokemon of all time. So, why do I think this? Most of it is because of its funny as hell personality. That being that it always wants to show off, being so confident in its abilities, and how angry it can get at times. It's like this Pokemon loves himself so much and feels like he is the strongest Pokemon ever, which is like wow, but so funny to see. He also always wants the center of attention from Dawn too, which is just really adorable and can make for great comedic moments where it shoves another Pokemon out of the way. Ah, what a guy Piplup is. In fact, he loves Dawn so much that he sometimes has fantasies about her. My personal favourite coming from the episode, Piplup Up and Away, where he dreams that Dawn tells of Gibble for its Draco Meteor always hitting Piplup, and then just goes on to show so much affection to Piplup. But it's just funny and very cute. You know what? I think that episode actually is my all-time favourite Piplup focus too, due to it getting hurt, although that sounds bad. But seriously, every time Draco Meteor hit Piplup, I laughed. I also liked the episode because of the plan it had to run away, and how it, Dawn and Ash grew a closer bond, and even some other comedic moments in the episode between it and Team Rocket. I kinda rushed there, but that kinda shows my excitement for that episode. Overall, as you can probably tell now though, I just laughed so much from this Pokemon's personality. But we ain't done yet. Two other reasons why I like this Pokemon so much is because of its contests and development. I would say Piplup is the best Pokemon Dawn uses in contests due to all the amazing combinations they come up with that look absolutely beautiful. And as for its development, it just went from such a weak Pokemon to a kind of powerful one, which was really nice to watch that growth. But the best part of its development for me was when it resisted to evolve. Dawn was very excited it would evolve too, but poor Piplup didn't want to evolve, and soon Dawn realized that, and they overcame this by using an Everstone which stops the evolution. It was just nice to see that some Pokemon want to stay how they are, and compared to other resisted evolution stories, this one was the more powerful one to me due to how hard Piplup was pushing himself, and the relationship we saw between Dawn and Piplup. Regardless, I think you've got a good enough picture of why I love Piplup so much. So let's not make this any longer, and just give this Pokemon the much deserved 10 out of 10 it needs. Let's now move on. Buneary. This Pokemon fit Dawn so much, and I guess that's why I like it, because I like Dawn a lot. AKA Buneary would always dress up, act cute, be helpful, and have so much passion for contests. That's basically Dawn. But as for other reasons of why I like this Pokemon apart from that, it's because of its amazing performances in contests. Like, some of the best moves come from Buneary. I also liked how strong it could be, which was kinda funny to see a small cute Pokemon like that be so powerful. And it was just putting a smile on my face overall, due to seeing this Pokemon have fun too. To top off this Pokemon too, I did quite enjoy its shipping with Pikachu, due to Buneary actually having a canon crush on Pikachu and being so adorable around it. In fact, I'll probably say its debut episode is my favourite Buneary moment due to the shipping within it. Overall though, I'm going to give Buneary a 7 out of 10. Just so much fun watching this Pokemon have fun. Pachirisu. Back in the day, I didn't think much of this Pokemon. I even found that it could be annoying at times. However, by thinking about this Pokemon more and rewatching some of its moments, it's actually really entertaining to me now. I don't know what was going on in my brain back then. Anyway, I think we all know the reason why it's entertaining, and that is because of its hyperactive personality that made for nice comedic moments. Probably some of my favourite moments of its personality coming from the episode titled Steamboat Willies. It was just so crazy within that episode, which made me laugh. It honestly reminds me of one of my dogs called Trixie too, who's absolutely crazy. But don't worry, that ain't gonna count towards why I like this Pokemon. Anyway, as for other reasons of why this Pokemon is great, it's because of how adorable it can be. Like, oh my god, just look at how cute it is. It also performed amazingly in contests and battles. This moment where it deflected Stone Edge was just epic. And, you know, just by thinking about it, its personality did develop to get serious in serious moments, which is nice somewhat development. Overall, I'm going to give this lovable goof a 9 out of 10. However, later on, we have another electric rodent which I like a little bit more than this one, so stay hyped for that. But yeah, Pachirisu, just so adorable and funny. Breezel. This Pokemon is the Breezel that Ash would soon end up with via a trade, and we all know how I feel about its time with Ash. It was awesome. However, what did I think of Breezel during its time with Dawn? To put it short, I didn't think much of it, to be honest. It was confusing because Dawn already had a water type on her team, and I just didn't see it fit in her whatsoever due to its personality. I like the personality, don't get me wrong, but relationships is a bit important as well for me when it comes to me liking a Pokemon or not. So because of those reasons, I can only give Breezel a 2 out of 10 with Dawn. But hey, at least I found it so enjoyable with Ash. Definitely suits him way more. Ambipom. I should say Apom was Briozo's replacement for the team, and I'm glad, as I started to like Apom more. He suited contests way more, and every time we saw it compete in one, it was kinda nice. Also thanks to this Pokemon, Dawn learned valuable lessons about contests and developed to get better at them. So I gotta give this Pokemon credit to that. In fact, Ambipom did develop a little too, so that's good. I really like its evolution episode too. Anyway, as for everything else we got on this Pokemon, I liked its joyful personality, it made me smile, and finally, the comedic moments it gave off were really nice. However, I just wish it didn't get somewhat released. Man, just by thinking about it, this Pokemon kept getting passed around. But yeah, it made me sad to see this Pokemon go, especially for ping pong of all things. Despite those episodes actually being entertaining, but still. Regardless of that though, I'm overall gonna give Ambipom a rating of 6 out of 10. Mamoswine. When this Pokemon first got introduced as a Swinub in the series, I wasn't too sure if I was gonna like it or not. However, thanks to its nice development and pretty cool moments, I ended up loving this Pokemon. That development was basically that once it evolved into Piloswine, it developed an indifference towards Dawn and became prone to a disobedience because it knew numerous powerful attacks, feeling much stronger and more confident than it did as a Swinub, and could feel better without Dawn. However, one day when it was a Mamoswine and got injured in a battle against a wild Aggron, Dawn helped aid it back to full health when Brock wasn't around, and this made Mamoswine realize how much Dawn actually cared for it, then starting to listen to her commands once again. It was just a perfect showcase of bonding and really helped Mamoswine's character feel better. Even his personality, the development even suited it a lot due to how powerful Mamoswines actually are. So it makes sense of why it feel like it would do better without Dawn. So yeah, I just loved its development. Regardless of that though, I do also want to mention that it did have some pretty cool moments. Which by that, I mean its battles. Every single one was so entertaining to watch, mostly the Sinnoh Grand Festival ones. Just by thinking about it, all of Dawn's Pokemon were amazing during that Grand Festival, for showing off the best highlights about the Diamond and Pearl series. Overall for Mamoswine though, I'm going to give it a nice 8 out of 10. Well done. Quilava. Quilava was a very unexpected entry for Dawn's team back in the day. However, I'm glad she got one, as I ended up enjoying its screen time quite a bit as a Cyndaquil. And that's because, once again much like Dawn's other Pokemon, I loved how it performed in contests, there were so many beautiful and unique combo moves, and I just love its funny, cute personality. Gotta love the little rivalry I had with Piplup too to get Dawn's attention. That's just adorable. My favourite moment from this Pokemon though has to be its battle against Ash's Pikachu in the Black and White series. I just found it really awesome due to the fast paced action and nice strategies being shown. Overall, I'm going to give Quilava a decent 6 out of 10. What a nice addition to Dawn's team. Togekiss. Despite Dawn obtaining Togekiss quite late in the Diamond and Pearl series, I still enjoyed its screen time. Its personality was just so different from any other Pokemon we've seen before in the anime, so I really liked it, and it made it stand out. AKA, I mean it's so graceful and acts like a mother figure. It did come from a princess anyway, which princesses have to be like that. So that's a great backstory for a Pokemon too. Like seriously, I just find Togekiss overall to be unique. It puts a smile on my face too. The only time I didn't smile at Togekiss though is when it hugged a crying Pikachu and Piplup in the last episode, as come on man, that was such a sad moment. Diamond and Pearl was my first Pokemon series too, so I didn't want to see it go. Anyway, focusing back on Togekiss's character now, as we did get sidetracked, I also enjoyed its battles due to how graceful it was within them, and just all the cool contest moves it made too. My favourite moment from this Pokemon though has to be the episode after Dawn obtains it. Dawn had difficulties battling with Togekiss, as she would only use graceful moves in battle. However, Dawn soon realised that instead of Togekiss changing to suit Dawn, Dawn should just instead change her strategy to suit Togekiss's strength, which was overall nice somewhat development for both of them and their friendship. So overall, with that said, I'm going to give Togekiss a nice 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Iris's team. So, let's jump right into Axew. Axew was a pretty fun Pokemon to watch for me, and why that is because of its personality, the things that happen to it, which doesn't make much sense at the moment, but it will later, and finally I also like its little development it got at times. Firstly, for its personality though, it's just a friendly little dragon who is really caring towards others, which is kinda cute to me. However, at the same time, this poor dragon always seems to get hurt in some kind of way, or a bad thing happens to it, which I can't help but laugh at. This being the things that happen to it like I mentioned earlier. Although I sound harsh for laughing at this stuff, I don't know, that's just how I feel. This Pokemon was funny because it got hurt. Kinda like Piplup too. Anyway, finally for that development though, it learned Outrage and Giga Impact, which helped it become stronger, and I kinda liked both the moments a lot. Especially Outrage, because I actually had no control over the move whatsoever, something it and Iris need to work on. Although we never got to see a continuation on that, which is disappointing, but still, it was nice to see this Pokemon who was always portrayed as a weak Pokemon learn some strong moves. Really nice development. If only it evolved too, as that would have been even more satisfying to see it go from weak to strong. In fact, actually even stated in one episode that it wants to evolve, so that's even more disappointing that they brought it up, but never went through with the idea. But regardless, with what we've got so far with this Pokemon, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to give actually a decent 6 out of 10. Excadrill. Despite Excadrill being a weird entry to Iris' team according to many people, simply because they thought she would catch Dragon-type Pokemon only, I still enjoyed watching this Pokemon a lot. Same goes for the next Pokemon actually. But let's focus more on Excadrill first. Excadrill to me was a cool, friendly, and powerful Pokemon. I always loved seeing it interact with the other Pokemon around it, and even compete in battles. All the battles it had were pretty awesome. My favourite probably having to be the battle against Ash's Pikachu in the first tournament arc. It was just really entertaining. I gotta say too, I love its moveset. Regardless of those battles and its personality though, I also liked its little backstory and development it received, aka the entire story we saw in the episode titled Iris and Excadrill against the Dragon Buster. Yes, it shares similarities to Ash's Charizard, but still I found it sweet and entertaining. Overall, Excadrill gets a 7 out of 10. Emolga. 10 out of 10. What else needs to be said? Moving on. Nah, being serious now, obviously as you guys can tell from who I am, the video background, and even my icon and banner on my YouTube channel, I am an Emolga fan. It's my all-time favourite Pokemon, and one reason for how it became my favourite Pokemon ever is because of this Emolga. Iris' Emolga. I love it so much. It has a right funny personality, such as trolling Pokemon, competing in pretty good battles, such as it battling against Stefan Sook, that was kinda cool. It also had interesting stories, such as joining Team Rocket, even if the idea got reused, but I preferred that episode. It also had nice interactions with other Pokemon, such as its funny rivalry with Ash's Snivy, and finally, it's goddamn cute. Attract helps it nicely in battles too. Anyway, yeah, that's why I love this Emolga so much, mostly because of its personality though. Like, I always had such a joy watching it in action. It's such a troll. So overall, I'm going to give Emolga a 9 out of 10. I know for a fact most of you guys hated Emolga, so I'm sorry that I like it so much I guess. It's my opinion though. And hey, as I've established already, I find Dawn's Piplup to be the best PokeGirl Pokemon ever, so Emolga's rating here isn't exactly biased. Dragonite. Dragonite was the second Dragon-type Pokemon Iris caught, and thank God too, as she really needed some justice to her character, which this Dragonite helped do. And how it helped do that was because it was a cocky and proud Pokemon who loved its skill, refusing to obey Iris because it felt like it could do better without her. However, thanks to the help of the champion Cynthia, and spending time bonding with Dragonite, and Iris spending time bonding with Dragonite, both of them slowly started to respect each other and work as a team, which was really nice to watch. Yes, once again this is another similarity to Ash's Charizard, but it fits Dragonite so well, so I ain't complaining. Plus, like I said, it gave Iris justice too. Anyway, apart from that nice development that Dragonite got along with helping Iris' character out, I also really like Dragonite because of how it's such a badass in battles. Like, wow, the battles it had was so enjoyable, on par with Ash's strongest Pokemon. Its moveset is so cool too. My favourite overall battle though has to probably be its battle against Dawn's Mamoswine or Drayden's Draudigon. Both were epic as hell. To top off this Pokemon too, it made the best facial expressions ever, like oh my god. Overall, I'm going to give Dragonite a nice 9 out of 10. Moving on though, we finally have Gible. I was caught this Pokemon in a Japan exclusive special episode, and it pretty much has the same personality as Ash's Gible, which we all know how I feel about Ash's Gible already. It was funny and decent. So that's what I'll say for Iris's Gible here too. However, because it only had one episode, I will not rate this Pokemon, as that would be a bit unfair. But please Pokemon creators, when Iris returns, if she ever does, I want to see this Pokemon get some action and hopefully evolve, as that would be awesome. In fact, the same can be said for Ash's Gible too. Finally, for the PokeGirls Pokemon, we have Serena's team. Braixen. Braixen is Serena's partner Pokemon. And man, I love watching both of them develop together. They suit each other so well too, which is so heartwarming. Anyway, the 3 main reasons why I like Braixen so much is because of that development, its personality, and it's cute. Misty has a fennekin though, but still. Anyway, I have nothing else to say for cuteness, so let's talk more about its development. I liked how it learned Flamethrower to protect Serena, that was really sweet, how it and Serena overcame their mistake in their first showcase, and how it actually evolved. It was all just nice. As for its personality though, I just like how friendly it is, how it never wants to get dirty, and how it cares about looking good. Pretty nice. And you know, it's basically just like Serena in a way. And I like seeing partner Pokemon have the trait of being the same as their partner. So overall, I'm going to give Braixen a nice 8 out of 10. Nicely done. Pancham. Pancham was a cute, funny little dude, and because of that, I quite enjoyed it. We see its cuteness through its looks with wearing the sunglasses, and how it's always so proud of its abilities, while also trying to act cool in every kind of situation. It was also nice to see it get embarrassed over receiving a gift from Serena too. As for its funny nature though, that's simply because of its rivalry with Chespin. So I gotta give Chespin some credit on that. To top off this Pokemon too though, its performances were quite interesting to watch due to having the unique moveset of Stone Edge and Dark Pulse. So that's nice. Overall, with those factors now explained though, I'm going to give Pancham a 6.5 out of 10. Sylveon. Sylveon is the last Pokemon for this list and the last of Serena's team. If you're a regular viewer, you will know I dislike Sylveons as a Pokemon. However, I will admit, Serena's Sylveon had nice screen time, which made me enjoy its character. For example, I liked how it developed from a shy Eevee to a confident Sylveon, and how it developed after losing its first showcase. Then we also have its somewhat charming and cute personality, which is just darling. However, I can't help but feel at the same time that this Pokemon is overrated. People just make it seem like it's so perfect, which, to be honest, it ain't. It's just decent to me. But overall, with those quite simple things I've said, I don't have anything else I want to say for Sylveon, so I'm gonna end it off by giving this Pokemon a decent 6 out of 10. And that concludes my opinions. Man, these videos are so hard to do. I lose breath so easily and yeah, it's just so hard to make. You can probably tell I'm out of breath right now. But yeah. Anyway, just by thinking about it before we sign off this video, it seems like most of the Pokemon on this list that I liked are the ones that were funny, whereas the ones on Ash's list are the strong ones with development. So that's kinda interesting to think about how my opinions are split between the characters. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Regardless, I guess I'll end off this video now. So if you did enjoy this long video, then please be sure to leave a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. Checking out today's sponsor is much appreciated too. For now though, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching my opinions once again.